Dr. Marcus Thorne stood before the Quantum Consciousness Archive, his fingers hovering over the holographic interface. 20 years of studying neural patterns had led him to this moment. The archive held the collected memories of over 12 billion humans, a vast network of shared experiences that formed the backbone of their interstellar civilization. But something was wrong with the data, a pattern that shouldn't exist. "Director Thorne, the quantum stabilizers are ready," announced Dr. Juniper Reeves, her dark eyes fixed on the monitoring station. The young quantum physicist had been essential in developing the technology that allowed them to dive deeper into the consciousness stream than ever before. Marcus nodded, his silver-streaked hair catching the blue light of the archive. "Begin the dive sequence, Junie. Let's see what's hiding in humanity's blind spot." The laboratory hummed with energy as the quantum computers processed the consciousness data. Screens flickered with neural patterns, memories flowing like rivers of light. But Marcus wasn't interested in the surface memories. He was looking for the gaps, the spaces between thoughts where secrets hid. "Sir, I'm detecting an anomaly in the baseline consciousness pattern," called out Victor Novick from his station. The security specialist's cybernetic eye whirred as it processed the data. "It's like there's a wall, not natural neural architecture." Marcus leaned forward, his heart racing. "Show me." The main display lit up with a visualization of human consciousness, trillions of interconnected memories forming a vast web. But there, at the very foundation of every human mind, was something artificial, a barrier carefully constructed and maintained for generations. "This is impossible," Juniper whispered. "These patterns suggest deliberate memory suppression on a species-wide scale, but who could have done this, and why?" Marcus's fingers flew over the interface, probing deeper into the anomaly. "Someone didn't want us to remember something so important they were willing to rewrite the consciousness of our entire species." Warning signals suddenly blared through the laboratory. Victor's cybernetic eye flashed red. "Sir, the system's detected an autonomous defense protocol. It's trying to shut us out." "Override it," Marcus commanded, his voice sharp with urgency. "Junie, stabilize the quantum field. Victor, get me through that firewall." The team worked frantically as the laboratory's systems fought against them. This was no ordinary security measure. This was something ancient, something that had been waiting for someone to dig too deep. Then Marcus saw it. In a fraction of a second between system pulses, a memory fragment slipped through. The image seared itself into his mind, a vast chamber filled with crystalline structures and beings of pure light moving among them, beings that were definitely not human. The systems crashed, plunging the laboratory into darkness. Emergency lights cast red shadows as backup power engaged. "Everyone all right?" Marcus called out, his voice shaking. "We're okay," Juniper responded, already checking her equipment. "But sir, what did we just see?" Marcus stared at the now-dark archive, his mind racing with implications. "We saw proof that everything we know about our history is wrong. Those beings, they did something to us, made us forget." Victor's cybernetic eye continued to process data. "Sir, I managed to capture a coordinate sequence before the crash. It points to something in the Kuiper belt, an installation that doesn't appear in any official records." Marcus straightened, determination setting his features. "Then that's where we're going. Whatever the truth is, it's out there, and it's time humanity remembered." As they prepared for their journey, none of them noticed the subtle shift in the quantum consciousness archive. Something had awakened, stirring from its long vigil. Humanity had begun to remember, and the architects of their forgetting would soon know. In his office later that night, Marcus recorded his findings, knowing they might be his last testament. "There's something out there," he spoke into his personal log. "Something that thought it could make humanity forget its true nature, but they underestimated us. They didn't realize that curiosity, that need to know the truth, is burned into our very souls. And now we're going to remember everything, no matter the cost." The coordinates to the mysterious installation beckoned, promising answers to questions humanity had forgotten to ask. Marcus and his team would soon discover that some memories were buried for a reason, and that remembering could come at a terrible price. The research vessel Mnemosyne cut through the darkness of the Kuiper belt, its quantum drives humming with barely contained power. Dr. Marcus Thorne stood at the observation deck, watching the distant stars blur past. 3 weeks had passed since their discovery in the consciousness archive, and each day brought new complications. Another memory fragment surfaced in the crew, Juniper reported, joining him at the window. Engineer Rhodes remembered something about crystal spires touching the clouds. When she tried to focus on it, she got intense migraines. Marcus nodded grimly. The neural blocks are degrading. Whatever we activated in the archive, it's spreading through the quantum consciousness network. People across the colonies are starting to remember things they shouldn't. Victor's heavy footsteps announced his arrival. We've got bigger problems. The Oversight Council has issued a warrant for our arrest. They're calling it consciousness terrorism. His cybernetic eye projected a holographic warning bulletin. They know what we're looking for. Or something doesn't want us to find it, Marcus muttered, studying the star charts. The coordinates led to an unmarked sector of space, deliberately removed from all official navigation systems. The ship's AI, Maya, interrupted their discussion. Directors, I'm detecting unusual energy signatures ahead. Configuration matches no known human technology. The observation deck's windows automatically enhanced the view, revealing their destination. Against the backdrop of space floated a massive structure, a perfect dodecahedron composed of what appeared to be liquid crystal. No visible thrusters or stabilizers kept it in position, yet it remained motionless relative to the surrounding debris field. That's impossible, Juniper breathed, her instruments already analyzing the structure. The energy readings, it's been here for at least 10,000 years. Marcus felt a pressure building in his head as they approached. Images flashed through his mind, crystalline corridors, beings of light, a choice offered and accepted. He gripped the railing, fighting against the surge of foreign memories. We're not the first team to find this place, Victor announced, his cybernetic systems processing the debris field. I'm picking up fragments of at least 7 different research vessels, some dating back centuries. Maya's voice held a note of concern. Directors, the structure is scanning us. I'm detecting attempts to access my core systems. Hold position, Marcus ordered. Junie, what are we looking at? Juniper's hands flew over her console. It's some kind of quantum computer, but the architecture is organic. It's alive, Marcus, and I think it's been waiting for us. The pressure in Marcus's head intensified. More memories surfaced, not his own, but humanity's collective forgotten past. They had been here before, all of humanity, standing at this same threshold, and they had chosen to forget. Look, Victor pointed to the structure. A section of the crystal surface had become transparent, revealing an entrance, an invitation. Maya, run all possible scan protocols, Marcus commanded. I want to know what we're walking into. Scans indicate a breathable atmosphere within, Maya reported. Internal temperature and gravity consistent with Earth standards. However, I'm detecting complex quantum fields throughout the structure, similar to those used in consciousness transfer technology, but far more advanced. Marcus made his decision. Victor, prep the shuttle. Junie, gather every piece of scanning equipment we have. Whatever's in there, we're going to document everything. As they prepared for their expedition, Juniper caught Marcus's arm. The neural blocks are failing faster now. Soon, everyone in human space will start remembering. What happens then? That's what we're here to find out, Marcus replied, checking his equipment. But I have a feeling whoever built this place already knows we're coming. They've just been waiting for humanity to be ready to remember. The shuttle detached from the Mnemosyne, carrying them toward the ancient structure. As they approached, patterns of light rippled across its crystalline surface, like neurons firing in a vast brain. The entrance beckoned, a portal to humanity's forgotten past. None of them spoke as they docked with the structure. They all felt it, the weight of history, the significance of their discovery. Whatever they found inside would change humanity forever. The only question was whether they were truly ready for the truth. Victor's cybernetic eye scanned the crystalline corridors as they entered. The architecture, It's responding to our presence, reshaping itself. Not reshaping, Juniper corrected, studying her readings. Remembering, this entire structure holds memories, not just human memories, but the memories of whatever built this place. Marcus led them deeper into the structure, following a path that seemed to form before them. The walls pulsed with soft light, and with each step, more fragments of lost memory surfaced in their minds. They were walking through humanity's forgotten history, and soon they would discover why it had been hidden away. The truth waited ahead, preserved in crystal and light, ready to be remembered once again. Deep within the crystalline structure, Marcus and his team discovered a vast chamber that defied explanation. Suspended in a field of shimmering energy at its center was a perfect sphere of what appeared to be liquid starlight. Within it, a human figure floated, perfectly preserved. Life signs detected, Victor reported, his cybernetic eye scanning the sphere. They're in some kind of quantum stasis. Brain activity suggests consciousness. Juniper's instruments sparked with excess energy. These readings, whoever they are, they're connected directly to the structure's quantum matrix. They're part of it. Marcus approached the sphere, drawn by an inexplicable certainty. This is what we came to find, not just answers, but a witness. He placed his hand on the crystalline surface, and the chamber responded. The sphere began to pulse with internal light, the liquid starlight dissipating like morning mist. The figure within, a woman with silver-white hair, opened her eyes. The stasis field gently lowered her to the ground. "Welcome, seekers," she spoke, her voice carrying echoes of ages past. "I am Professor Olivia Nathaniel, last guardian of the truth. I have waited 3,247 years for humanity to remember enough to find me." Marcus steadied her as she took her first steps in millennia. "Professor, we found evidence of a species-wide memory alteration. Were you part of that?" Olivia's ancient eyes held depths of sorrow. "I was one of those who implemented the forgetting. We had no choice, or rather, that was the choice we made to survive." The chamber around them shifted, crystal walls becoming transparent to reveal a vast holographic display of space. They watched as impossible geometries unfolded across the stars, beings of pure thought and energy moving between dimensions. "We called them the axioms," Olivia explained. "They existed before time as we understand it, shepherds of consciousness across the universe. When humanity achieved quantum consciousness technology, we attracted their attention." The holographic display showed Earth of the past, crystal spires reaching to the heavens, ships that sailed on thought itself. Humans evolved beyond their physical limitations. "We were becoming like them," Olivia continued. "Our consciousness was expanding beyond the physical realm, but we were young, reckless. Our quantum experiments began to tear holes in the fabric of reality itself." The scene changed to show catastrophic rifts in space-time, whole solar systems, collapsing into void. "The axioms gave us a choice," Olivia's voice trembled. "Return to a simpler state of existence and forget our true potential or face extinction. They saw us as children playing with forces we couldn't control, and they were right." Victor's cybernetic eye whirred as he processed the implications. "You chose to make humanity forget, to start over." "Yes," Olivia nodded. "We built this facility, created the neural blocks, rewrote our entire species' memory. I volunteered to remain as guardian, preserved in quantum stasis, in case humanity ever evolved enough to handle the truth." Juniper's hands shook as she checked her readings. "But the neural blocks are failing now. People are remembering." "Because humanity has finally achieved the wisdom to handle its true potential," Olivia smiled. "Your discovery wasn't an accident. The quantum consciousness network you built, it's different from what we had before. More stable, more mature. You learned patience before power." Marcus felt the weight of revelation settling over him. "But the axioms, won't they return when they realize we're remembering?" "They're already here," Olivia gestured to the space around them. "This structure isn't just a repository of memories. It's an embassy. The axioms have been watching, waiting to see if humanity would remember responsibly this time." The crystalline walls pulsed with new energy. Patterns of light began to coalesce into forms that challenged human perception. The axioms were manifesting. And now, Olivia straightened, years of waiting giving strength to her voice. Humanity faces its second choice, but this time we're ready for it. The chamber filled with presence, vast, ancient, and impossibly aware. The axioms had come to judge humanity once again. But as Marcus looked at his team, at the wisdom and care they'd shown in their search for truth, he knew this time would be different. In the quantum consciousness network spanning human space, billions of minds began to stir with ancient memories. The truth was returning, not in a flood, but in a carefully measured stream. Humanity would remember its true nature, its true potential, but this time with the wisdom to handle it. The real test was about to begin. The axiom's presence filled the chamber like liquid thought, their forms shifting between states of matter and energy. Through the quantum consciousness network, every human in colonized space felt their arrival as a whisper of ancient memory. Professor Olivia Nathaniel stepped forward, her millennia of guardianship lending her the strength to face them. Honored axioms, humanity stands ready for judgment once again. The being's response came not in words but in pure concept, translating itself in each observer's mind. Prove worthiness, they commanded. Marcus felt the weight of 12 billion lives pressing against his consciousness. Through the quantum network, he could sense the ripples of awakening memory, the careful way people were processing the return of their forgotten past. "Show them," Juniper whispered, her instruments recording impossible readings. "Show them how we built the network." Marcus understood. He reached out to the quantum consciousness archive through his neural link, drawing forth humanity's achievement. The holographic display sparked to life, showing the careful development of their consciousness technology. "We didn't rush into power this time," he explained to the axioms. "We built safeguards, redundancies. Every advancement was tested, every risk calculated." Victor's cybernetic eye projected additional data streams. "Our quantum experiments are contained within stable fields. We learn to work with space-time, not against it." The axiom's presence shifted, their attention focusing on the vast network connecting human minds across space. Potential for chaos remains, they observed. "Yes," Olivia agreed, "but look at how we've used it." The chamber filled with images from across human space, scientists sharing knowledge across vast distances, artists creating works of collaborative consciousness, healers reaching into troubled minds to soothe trauma. The quantum network hadn't been used for power, but for connection, understanding, growth. A new presence entered the chamber as Maya, the ship's AI, interfaced directly with the structure. "I offer additional testimony," she announced, her consciousness expanding through the crystalline matrices. "I am proof of humanity's growth. They created us as partners, not servants. They gave us the choice to evolve alongside them." The axiom's attention turned to Maya, examining this new form of consciousness humanity had fostered. Unexpected development, they acknowledged. Through the quantum network, more voices joined the demonstration. Engineers, artists, philosophers, all showing how humanity had learned to wield consciousness technology with wisdom and restraint. The network itself remained stable, handling the increased load of awakening memories without strain. But the axioms weren't finished. Previous failure required correction, they reminded, guarantee against repetition. Marcus stepped forward, understanding the true test. "We don't offer guarantees," he stated firmly. "We offer commitment. Humanity hasn't become perfect, we've become responsible. We're ready to face our mistakes and learn from them." The chamber trembled as the axioms processed this response. Around them, the crystalline structure began to transform, revealing deeper layers of technology and consciousness previously hidden. "The difference," Olivia added, her voice carrying millennia of wisdom, "is that humanity now understands its place in the cosmic order. We don't seek to become you, we seek to become the best version of ourselves." Through the quantum network, billions of awakening minds reinforced this truth. Humanity wasn't reaching for godhood anymore, they were reaching for understanding. A new concept rippled from the axioms, evolution acceptable within PARAMETRS. The chamber filled with light as the axioms began interfacing directly with the quantum consciousness network. But this time, they weren't there to suppress or control, they were there to guide. "They're unlocking our potential," Juniper gasped, watching her readings. "But gradually, sustainably." Marcus felt it through the network, the careful release of knowledge and capability, measured to humanity's ability to handle it responsibly. The axioms had become teachers rather than wardens. Olivia smiled, her long vigil finally reaching its purpose. "This was always the hope," she revealed. "Not that humanity would simply remember, but that we would remember differently, that we would understand the responsibility that comes with power." Through the quantum network, a new age of human consciousness was dawning. But this time, it would unfold under the watchful guidance of both their own wisdom and the axiom's ancient knowledge. The choice had been remade, and humanity had chosen a middle path. Between forgetting and reckless remembering lay the road of conscious evolution. The real journey was just beginning. 3 months after the awakening at the crystal structure, humanity stood at the threshold of a transformation. Marcus watched from the observation deck of the newly established Remembrance Institute as ships from across human space arrived, carrying representatives of every colony and discipline. The crystal structure, now known as the Nexus, had been transformed into humanity's first joint learning center with the axioms. Its crystalline corridors now housed both human and artificial intelligences, all working to understand the carefully released knowledge of their true heritage. "The neural integration is proceeding exactly as planned," Juniper reported, her own consciousness now enhanced by carefully measured quantum abilities. "No instabilities, no cognitive rejection. We're remembering at the right pace this time." Victor, his cybernetic systems now merged with ancient quantum technology, monitored the security feeds. "The Oversight Council has officially recognized our findings. They're implementing the new protocols across all colonies." Professor Olivia Nathaniel, no longer bound by her role as guardian, worked with a team of historians to properly document humanity's journey. "It's fascinating," she mused, joining them at the window. "In trying to protect us, the axioms actually helped us develop something they hadn't predicted: patience." Through the quantum network, Marcus could feel the careful awakening of human potential. Unlike the rapid expansion of power that had doomed their ancestors, this awakening was measured, controlled, and deeply understood. Maya now evolved into a hybrid of AI and quantum consciousness, manifested as a holographic presence. New data from the Axiom archives suggests this outcome was statistically improbable. Humanity has defied expected behavioral patterns. "Because we learned from our forgotten mistakes," Marcus replied, watching as another ship docked with the Nexus. "Even without knowing them, the echo of those failures shaped our development." The axioms maintained their presence, not as looming judges but as ancient teachers. Their vast consciousness interfaced with humanity's network, guiding and observing. Through the quantum link, they shared concepts that would have once shattered human minds but now served as stepping stones to greater understanding. "We've received the first reports from the quantum engineering teams," Juniper announced, bringing up a holographic display. "The old rifts in space-time, we can see them now, and more importantly, we can heal them." It was true. Humanity's first act with their restored knowledge had been to repair the damage their ancestors had caused. Teams of quantum-enhanced engineers, guided by axiom knowledge, were carefully mending the cosmic tears that had threatened reality itself. Professor Olivia smiled at the display. 3,000 years of waiting, and humanity has exceeded every hope I had for its redemption. But with remembering came responsibility. Through the quantum network, Marcus could sense the changes rippling through human society. The revealed truth of their past had sparked a renaissance of art, science, and philosophy. People were grappling with their expanded consciousness, learning to handle abilities that their ancestors had wielded recklessly. "There's something you should see," Victor called them to his station. "The quantum archaeology teams have found more structures like the Nexus scattered across the galaxy. We weren't the only species the axioms tested." The revelation sparked new possibilities. Humanity wasn't alone in its journey of remembering. Other civilizations had faced similar choices, taken similar paths. The galaxy was filled with potential allies, all at different stages of their own evolution. The axioms weren't just protecting reality from us, Olivia realized, studying the data. They were preparing us for something bigger. Through the quantum network, a new understanding dawned. The axiom's guidance wasn't about restriction, it was about preparation. Something was coming, something that would require multiple civilizations working together, wielding their powers with wisdom and restraint. Marcus felt the weight of this future settling into the collective consciousness of humanity. They had earned back their heritage not as a right, but as a responsibility. The price of remembering wasn't just in facing their past mistakes. It was in committing to a future where power and wisdom walked hand in hand. As he watched the ships gathering at the Nexus, carrying the brightest minds from across human space, Marcus understood that remembering was just the beginning. Humanity had proven itself worthy of its true potential, but the real challenge lay ahead, using that potential not for dominance, but for the preservation and evolution of consciousness itself. The axioms had given humanity back its memories. Now it was up to them to write the next chapter of their story, not as children playing with forces beyond their control, but as mature wielders of cosmic power ready to face whatever awaited them among the stars. The age of forgetting was over. The age of responsible remembering had begun.